early 2023 is when I got my first payout. So all of that 2 years or 2.5 years, I was just going through accounts, losing them. And these weren't 10K, 25K accounts. These are like 80, 90% or 100K accounts.
Coming from like 1.4 million and doing that, what was your total payouts that you had as well, like max to this
All
day?
time.
Yeah, but yeah,
To
whatever.
this day, so since last June, it's all on my, most of it is on my Twitter. Since last June or last May, I've done about $300,000.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another interview. We got my man Rahat from London, who's done over 300k in payouts. That's right, 300k in payouts, and spent I think nearly 70 challenges, which is crazy because it took me 20 challenges before I got a payout, and then we find out that it took him 70. So he's got a great story because if you guys are struggling with your challenges or anything like that, he's got some real good mindset tips and tricks in this interview to really help you become that profitable trader. So hope you guys enjoy it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get to it. What's happening, Rahat? Welcome to my Funded FX interview, my bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm good. I'm good.
I,
For everyone, before they watch this, we're laughing because we've got a good like chemistry, and we're just a bit of a joker. We can try and keep it tame for this interview, but for the people who don't know you, I want to get to know you. How would you summarize yourself so far? We'll go into your trading journey in a bit, but like where you're from, how old are you, and just anything you want to share with the people, bro.
so I'm from London. I'm 25 years old. I started trading when I was 18, I think. So I started with binary options. So a lot of people like nowadays wouldn't know what that is. But yeah, I started with binary options for about 1.5, 2 years, and I lost a lot of money. At that time, binary options started getting unregulated, so and then it got banned in the UK. So that's when I made the change to go to forex.
Yeah.
So same thing with forex. The first forex I think I started in 2019 or 2020, late 2019, around that time. But yeah, for a good 3 years, it's the same as most people, to be honest. Losing money, and obviously back then prop firms weren't a big thing. So it was either you needed to have a lot of capital,
Yeah.
or you had to put like £200-300 and try to flip it or something.
Yeah, I remember
So
those
obviously
days.
I tried doing it over and over again. Like the amount of accounts I've blown is crazy. So
Was that with like small money, like 500, 500,
yeah, yeah,
500, just blow, blow, blow,
500.
blow, blow?
Like,
No, I was the same.
I'll literally go to work, come home, and then whatever money I had, I'll just blow it. I always say to, I don't always say to people, but from the age of like 19 to like 22, 23, like I barely had any money. Like whatever I would get going to a trading account to try to flip it, it's gone.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I'm going to prop firms. I want to say quite early, so I got in. I think so when COVID-19 happened. It's COVID-19, but it happened in 2020, right? Like the lockdown and stuff. So just
It's
before
crazy how fast it's gone.
yeah, so early like 2020, I got into prop firms, and it was the same thing as personal accounts. The worst thing about for me is I had a big ego, so I didn't want to do the 10K, the 25K challenges. I wanted to go for the 6-figure, 100K accounts.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, for me, I was buying 100K accounts left, right, and center, and I was just blowing them.
How
Whether
many
it's
do you reckon you
past
went
days
through?
before getting like funded and a payout,
Yeah.
like 70, 80, 100, I don't know, a lot. That's what I was saying. Like, if you think about the timeline from 2020, early 2020 or mid 2020 to
Shit, bro.
early 2023 is when I got my first payout. So all of that 2 years or 2.5 years, I was just going through accounts, losing them. And these weren't 10K, 25K accounts. These are like 80, 90% or 100K accounts.
10 accounts is 5K, just to let people know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And bearing in mind, this is when, I'm working on a job basically. But even in terms of like the reason why I got into trading, like from a young age I want to say when I was like 15, 16. So
Mhm.
basically my brother at that time was doing some network marketing sort of thing. And he used to always be in my room, and he'll be on the phone to his friends, and he'll always be telling them, people, look at the way people are living their lives. They go to work, come home, they're miserable. And
Yeah.
at that time, I was just on my TV playing Call of Duty. So I wasn't really like, it wasn't really going into me. But because he kept saying it over and over again, I started to realize from a young age, it's true. Like I look at people and I think to myself, these lot just they go to, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like as I've gotten older, I've realized some people are comfortable with that, and that's fine.
And they're happy,
I don't,
right?
and they're happy. Well, that's the main thing. If you're happy in your job, then it's not bad. It's all right. But yeah, ever since then, like even the jobs I've had, they haven't really been like a job with like a boss. It's always been like I've always mainly been a delivery driver. So
Yeah.
here's your stuff, go do it, come
So
home.
something you're controlling of, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So like, I've done like delivery, delivery, Uber Eats, Amazon Flex, Ocado delivery, where it's like, here's your stuff, go get it done, and come back.
Yeah. So you're kind
So
of
I
like
always
the
saw
person, your life, right? You control your life to some degree.
Yeah, basically.
Bro, going back, fucking 70 challenges is nearly 50 bags. How the hell would you make?
More. I don't know.
Okay, let's just say if it's probably more. Fuck. Okay, where the fuck
No,
you get 50
listen.
bags from working?
That's just challenges. You have to bear in mind the amount of £200, £500, £50, £10, and then binary options as well. Like,
yeah,
I've been
binary
through
options mad.
Yeah,
bro, that's so much money. Shit. But then again, saying that, I probably spent like, I would say I definitely spent 100K before I was making good, like before I made it all back.
Yeah.
It took me 4 years, like, and over that 4 years, it probably cost me like 100K, or like 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. And then because I was saying like, you don't realize, but also if you can realize, it's like the small money adds up. So if I can do the opposite, if I can make 500 the other way or $5 the other way, just a little bit, it starts adding. But then, bro, like what? So essentially, every single money that you were making from your job was going into challenges. Then
into challenges, I'll lose it all. Obviously, back then my expenses weren't that much. Like I had
at home,
probably. Yeah, so it was like I had a lot of spare money to I can blow basically.
Yeah. Which is kind of good because you kind of went all in because that's in a way, looking back at it, that's something that you knew you wanted to do, knew what you wanted to become and become the trader. So then let's just go spiral onto the next bit, which is obviously you've blown all these challenges and you did it. Okay, great. And then you've done that. But what was the turning point? Like it must have something must have happened or something must have clicked, right? You must have got sick of it or something.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna go over. So there's a quote, and it's I think from Einstein, and it's insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results.
Yeah,
I remember one day I sat down and I deep and I was like, "What am I doing? I'm doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm just expecting that outcome to change." So I was like, "I need to do something about this." And one of the bad habits I've always had is over trading. So I'll either make profit and then give it back, or I'll either make profit and give it back, or when I'm losing, I'll just keep losing basically. So there was never the discipline where, okay, whether I lose or whether I win, I'm stopping, and then I'm going about my day. So that's when I started to minimize the amount of trades I take and minimize the amount of screen time. And this is one of the biggest things I tell new traders, like, don't think that if you're on the charts for 9 hours, 10 hours treating it like a job and actively trading, that you're essentially grinding, because it's actually harmful for you. Back testing is completely different. You can spend hours on that if that's what you do. But if you're sitting on the charts trying to trade for 10 hours, it's not, you're going to get fried. Your brain is going to get fried. So obviously I started to minimize the amount of trades I take. So I think I went down to like 1 or 2 trades a day.
What was you doing before?
I was doing 1 or 2. Sometimes if I felt good, I'll do 5, 10, whatever, full month.
Whatever, yeah.
So yeah, whatever. I had no discipline.
Very key, no discipline.
Yeah, that's why even now, like, I make sure I go to the gym and stuff, always building the discipline up. Because at the end of the day, trading, like your quote, trading is you versus you, me versus me. It's literally you against yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, ever since I've reduced the amount of trades I started taking, I've now just, like, in a week, for example, I'll probably take 5. I'm an intraday trader, so I'll take five trades, 5 to 7 trades. Yeah. And then maybe like once, twice a month, I'll take a swing trade because there'll be a big move in the market.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How did so then obviously limiting trades is an amazing thing, because I think that's what changed my trading too. And we had the same problem, like over trading and insanity. Like I was giving profits back, or because I had the mindset like I come back in New York and then I'll make money. But then because I did that once, you keep thinking that it's going to happen over and over again. Yeah, but you have to settle. That's the thing. That's why I just did this thing right now recently. Is at a payout. It's a 1K payout, but I'm so subdued to numbers. I'm like, I have to learn to respect numbers, otherwise in the future this is going to harm me, because I realize that that's happening quite a lot. But before,
right?
Yeah, it's all equal, right?
At the end of the day,
absolutely.
$100 on a 10K account is the same as 1K on 100K. a million, 10 grand. So it's all
Exactly. I
relative.
always say is like in this industry, money is not the problem. It's actually skill. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like people think more money is going to help them, but it's not. It's actually the skill. Like you said with the overtrading and stuff. But then look, okay, cool. Overtrading is one thing, bro. But you had to have a strategy, right? Like because you
Yeah.
got fucking to the market. But how the fuck do you know when to buy, sell? Like what was like? How did you even come to that section as well? Because like yeah, you were trading. Yeah, you got binary options. You got all of this stuff, and you're blowing. And then you were like, okay, overtrading is one thing, but surely there has to be some sort of cognitive approach to the market. And how did you even get that? Did you take some courses or like where did that come?
So I've taken two courses. One was back in 20, like when I first started Forex. That was more like a basic trend line, support and resistance,
Yeah.
which, yeah, that was one. And the other one was more, I don't even know what it's like, fibs and I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But at that time, where I was psychological wise, no matter what course I've done, I would have still been unprofitable because you hear people and you hear profitable people say it all the time. It's not the strategy that matters; it's the psychology.
Hmm.
Because like trading is 20% um, technicals and 80% psychology.
Hmm.
So like you see people like, for example, I've been watching a guy for a good 4 years, and he trades basic support and resistance on like 4 hour daily. When it goes to resistance, he sells. When it goes to support, he buys. And if it
Very
breaks out,
simple, isn't it?
and he makes millions. So it just goes to show that it's everyone puts like technical on a pedestal when they should be putting the psychology on the pedestal because that's the thing
That's
that will
interesting.
make any strategy work.
Yeah.
So yeah, courses wise, I've done about two. And then even the way I train now is just because I've been doing it for so long, I've seen the same thing happen over and over again. So it's like sort of not muscle memory, but what's the word? Vision memory.
Yeah, I mean, it is, to be honest, it is muscle memory to some degree because you're constantly recognizing these patterns time and time and time again. It's pattern
Yeah,
recognition. That's what trading is because you
basically.
have a setup, right? And it's the support is a pattern, or you have a continuation as a pattern, or FVG for people, or a pattern, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's still a pattern because you're basing it off technicals, unless you're a macro or fundamental trader, but you hold those
Yeah.
positions on a much larger scale, which is a whole other story anyway. But then coming back to that, like what's like so where did you learn the strategy then? Because obviously you did those two courses and then you did the over trading. Where's the refinement and the strategies from there? Like how did you even come to trade? Because you
I
can't just
was,
open and buy, right?
yeah, I'll say, I mean, the
Or how
courses
did you
I've
develop
done,
it?
oh, yeah, the courses I've done, obviously, I've taken bits and bobs from them and it's sort of molded it into my own, not, I don't want to say strategy, but like the way I look at the markets.
Okay.
Like, the way I trade is actually very simple. Like the way people trade SMT with like 2, 3 pips stop. I can't do that.
Hmm.
It's not in my DNA. Like
Hmm.
when you enter a trade and you put a 2 pip stop loss and the red marker comes on MetaTrader, like that makes me sweat.
Yeah, it's
So for
too
me,
close.
yeah, it's too close.
There's no room to breathe.
So I actually prefer using bigger stops to like some people call it bigger stops. So on average, my stops might be 15, 20 pips, 25 pips, and I'm not
Is that
looking for
big?
massive.
That's fucking normal for me. I thought that's
Yeah,
normal.
I
Like,
know. I'm saying for some people that's a big stop loss because they're so used to using like 5 pips. Which at the end of the day, obviously, if you're making that work,
yeah, fuck it,
then
innit? If you're making
it
money, I don't give a
works.
shit.
Yeah, if you're making money, who cares if you use a 2 pip stop loss or 100 pips?
Yeah, it's
As
true.
long as as long as you're extracting money from the markets, you're doing better than 90% of people,
Yeah,
95%,
it's
whatever the
truth. Yeah.
statistics is. And this is why you'll never see other like profitable traders or tell another profitable trader, "Oh, your strategy is bad." It's always the unprofitable ones that are not even profitable yet, and they're the ones trying to like play down other people's strategy. Like for
It's
example,
mad, isn't
you.
it? It's mad.
For example, you. When I look at your charts on Instagram, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like a rainbow or something. But at the end of the day, you're making money from it.
Making
So it's like,
bank.
who am I to talk? Exactly.
40K
So
in two
yeah.
weeks. 45K actually. Shit, I just got another 5K payout coming soon as well.
All
I'm
right,
running
all right.
this
No need to
shit up
flex,
at the
mate. No
moment.
need to flex, mate. Make sure you
But
pay me after this interview.
I got you. I got you. See, this is why we had to try and get this interview
Nah, I'm
straight
joking.
because there's us two little knobheads.
But yeah,
So yeah, you have a wider stop loss. What about your risk to reward?
my risk rewards, I'm looking for anything from 1 to 2 R, and like I've like
How do you define it though? Like, is it mechanical or is it discretionary?
so I use two separate set of strategies. I had one in London and I have one in New York. So the London one is
Shit, you trade
quite
two at one day.
nah, not all the time. It just
Oh,
depends. But they're both linked to an extent. But it's
okay.
with London, it's more mechanical in terms of I enter a set time. set risk to reward. Whereas with New York, it's more based on structure, looking for imbalances.
Why?
X, Y, Z. Because obviously with London, for me, the only day I have to use is Asia session from that day, and then you've got like
I
previous
see.
day. Whereas with New York, I've got London and I've got Asia to work with, so I've got more.
Handovers as well, handover sessions.
Yeah, basically.
Mm.
So the way I trade is quite, it's mainly like sessions, highs, lows. Yeah, it's very
But don't worry, everyone who's watching. We will get into more detail because on the part 2, right, he's going to actually show 2 trades he's taken and then do like confidence and like breakdowns and just a little bit of like picking his brain on how he kind of takes those trades.
Hope you guys are enjoying the interview so far. Don't forget to check the link in the description of below for 15% off of your funded challenge, where you can literally get instant withdrawals. I got mine within 2 hours. You get to trade your account straight away as well. And to be honest, I've recently had an experience which I want to share with you guys. I used the same broker with my funded FX with another company, and the difference is huge. And I'm not just saying that just because I'm doing these interviews and the margins. You can actually go on my Twitter and check it out. I got slipped $1,000. That's right, $1,000 with proof. And I show you everything on Twitter on there what happened with that company. But with my funded FX, I have never had that issue, which is a bit interesting, right? And that's a whole nother can of worms. So link in the description if you want to trade with my funded FX, one of the top ones out there. And let's get back to the interview.
So then let's go on to like your funded life, right? So you did all of those, you blown the challenges, you started making it happen. What was the max funding you hit in total?
The max funding I hit was 1.4 million. And that was
max payouts? Yeah, go on, sorry.
No, I was gonna say like it was connected to a trade copier.
Oh.
On Traders Connect, and you see the balance, and when you take one loss, it's like a massive loss.
Yeah, it's the scales, right? You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Like, even with that sort of couple, I personally risk 1%, but once you go over like a million,
I don't think you need to, man. You can bring it back down massively.
25. Yeah, 100%. Even the way I approach challenges, and I've always said this, like on phase 1 and phase 2, I'm really aggressive because obviously now I'm profitable with prop firms. For me, the way I see it is, I'm really gonna, risk 1% on a trade and take 2 weeks, 3 weeks to pass phase 1, then another week to pass phase 2, and then get my funded account when I could just go aggressive and know I have a rough idea if I'm gonna pass or not. However, I also tell people that are not profitable, do not do that, because at the end of the day, you still need to know how to trade. Because once you get your funded account, once you get your funded account, you still have to trade. So I always tell newer traders, for example, like start off with the smaller accounts. You're better off blowing 5, 10k accounts or 25k accounts rather than 100k. So at the end of the day, if you can trade 10k, you can trade 100k, you can trade whatever. It's
numbers the same. Yeah.
So with phase 1, phase 2, do it properly. Journal your trades. As a new trader, I think whether you do a layer on, that's completely different. But I think as a new trader, it's important to journal your trades because you start realizing like patterns and mistakes you make over and over again. And it's also that sort of guilt when you, like, let's say, for example, you take 10 trades in a day. You're going to come to the top to journal and you're going to be like, I've got 10 trades to journal now.
It's long.
1 or 2. Yeah, it's long. So it's a good thing. It puts that sort of guilt in you.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. Yeah, that's true though. And then coming from like 1.4 million and doing that, what was your total payouts that you had as well, like max to this day?
All time.
Yeah, whatever.
This day, so since last June, it's all on my, most of it on my Twitter. Since last June or last May, I've done about $300,000.
So everything you spent, you've made back.
And no, but this is the thing. People will see $300,000. They also have to. And I'm a realist. I'm going to tell you how much I've made and how much I spent as well.
Yeah.
I could have made 300k and I could have spent $1 million. Am I profitable?
That's true. No.
So, like with me, I've made about $300,000 and I've spent roughly 40,000 GBP. So, in terms of prop firm, my risk to reward is about $300,000 is what, 260?
About 260?
Yeah. So, if you're looking at risk to reward, my risk to reward with prop firm is about 126.5.
6. What, you spent 40k?
Yeah, GBP.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's about 6.5. So for every dollar I'm spending on a prop firm, I'm getting $6.50 back, basically.
Yeah.
That's the
way. Are you going to trade prop forever?
I mean, if it lasts, I'll do it. But yeah, I'm looking at I trade personal accounts as well.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe later in the future. I don't right now I think I haven't milked prop firms as I want. If that makes
I'm
sense.
with you. I'm with you
Yeah,
because
I wanna.
I want to get some run
Yeah,
ups, man.
yeah, I
Like
wanna
people
run some
doing
up. And,
millions and stuff like that. We need to
yeah,
join them.
yeah, basically. But for now, I'm still on props. I do personals as well, but obviously later
Mhm.
on, let's see, maybe investor. I don't know.
Yeah. And then how much did you get from My Funded FX in terms of your like from payouts?
So from my
That's quite a
funded
lot.
FX, I've done about 55,
Yeah,
50,
congrats.
55. Because
And how much do
obviously
you
when
spend
they
on
first,
challenges with My Funded FX?
I haven't checked to be honest. I think it's about 10 or 12.
It's
I
still
think
up
it'll
one
probably
to
be
four.
around that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
killing
the way
it.
I view prop firms. And I've also realized a lot of the profitable prop firm people,
Hmm.
they also have the same sort of view where it's
Hmm.
like risk to reward, how much am I putting in, how much have I got out. There's only
Hmm.
like a very few people I know, for example, like Kyle,
Yeah,
who's got a massive amount and is doing it properly, which, fair play to him is
yeah,
crazy. I rate it.
yeah.
But majority of the other people is more of, how much withdrawals am I getting? If I'm getting a 10K withdrawal but I spent $1,000, then I'm $9,000 profit.
Hmm.
Whereas and I always say this as well, that psychology you can't use with personal accounts.
Yeah.
With personal accounts, if you lose £1,000, you've just lost £1,000 of your own money.
This is
And
why
then
I say
also
funded and personal and live and challenges are
two
all
different.
different skills. I've seen so many people
Yeah.
who try to come into the personal funding space, like trading their own private capital, and they don't have that skill set. And then vice versa, because I was private, I was trading six figures of my own money for many, many years and came into funding, and I failed funded for 6 to 8 months. Ego as well, right? I'm like, I'm a profitable trader. I got this. 10% is easy.
Yeah. It's
Then you got
different
all of these
psychology.
limitations and all these things, and essentially probably like a gambling approach to some degree I had like with funded challenges. A lot of people do because it the way it's perceived to some degree is like you can get this, which is great. There's a lot of opportunity, but you have to approach it slowly. And actually I want to quickly say as well, it's like the challenges, doing them aggressively, I massively agree with you, because that's how I was able to get like 1.6 or 1.3 to 1.6 just like that, because I was just like, mate, I can't be asked taking 2 months to pass a challenge. I'm just gonna YOLO this, like literally
Yeah.
not YOLO in like full sense, but like 2-3% risk per trade. I'm either gonna pass, I'm gonna fail. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
And then obviously unfunded, that's when you tone it down back to your normal risk, right?
Not even that, even lower now, because
Yeah.
now that I'm aiming for like 3 million or 4 million funding, next year's gonna be a big year because we come on, bro, 3 million, then private number, and then hedge fund, and then
Yeah. It all
even
lines up.
more. It just all of them at 0.2%. Bro, like Kyle said, 5 million. If you make 2%, that's already 100K. You know what I mean?
100K. Mad.
And at 2% a month, you're doing 100K a month. That's mad.
And 2% is, I think it's
It's
possible. Everyone can
achievable.
do it.
It's
It's
hell of
achievable.
achievable with no stress. You could just link 100K, you know what I mean, 0.25%, and everything else to copy. You just need 10 wins or 5 wins, and you've already done 2%. It is
Even
what it
with me,
is.
like when I was trading 200K accounts, I used to 10%, 15, 18%.
You run that
Whereas
up,
now,
right?
yeah, but now it's like you start realizing when you got more capital, you don't need to. And
Mhm.
also all the psychological pressure that comes with like running it. People just see the big payout and they
It's
think,
stress,
wow,
man.
but they don't see, the
Stress.
psychology building up to it. But even like, to be honest, I'm an aggressive trader. So I'm always going to have probably one account where I'm aggressive on.
Hmm.
And then obviously I'll have like more conservative account or
Yeah.
accounts, should I say? But I'll probably always have one sort of aggressive,
I've
sort of
definitely
full
found that though.
punch.
Splitting accounts definitely helps. I definitely
Definitely.
believe that helps with like, because especially with markets, risk on, risk off. When markets are trending, you're able to risk on, and then when markets back off, you can risk off as well, and you can switch accounts.
I'm different to you. See, I like consolidating markets. I don't like trending markets. I can't trade
Hate consolidating markets. They're
because with trending markets, the way I look at it is if the market is trending up, for
to
example,
buy.
I don't like looking at the chart and buying high. If that makes sense.
Going sideways is boring. The only way
No,
I
but
like
it's
going
just yeah,
sideways is in my
but it
car.
doesn't. It's easy. It's a box, and it just goes up and down. So you
Yeah,
just
but it's going
it's
up
just
and there's no movement. It's going
yeah, but
sideways, bro.
I'm a day trader, so I'm just capitalizing on the 15, 20, 25
What's
pips.
that like?
I'm
5
happy.
pips.
Nah, 20 pips. 20, 25,
Well,
whatever,
actually, you trade
it is
Euro
in the range.
USD, man. The ATR on that is one thing I've definitely
Yeah.
realized
And GBP USD, both of them.
is a lot of people trade the euro. I don't get it. Like it's just so low ATR, so low movement, and low volume as well. Actually, it's high volume in it, but
That's because you're more of a cracker. You probably, what do you trade? Like gold and stuff. Gold, GBP,
DAX,
CAD.
DAX and gold. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
don't trade gold no
one
more.
thing.
It's indices, isn't it?
yeah, I've never got my head around indices. The lot sizing and stuff. I don't know. It's like
Maths in it.
I see people place like 4 lots and they're like running like 10 grand in profit. I'm like, how does this work?
Just
But
divide it by 10, like times it by
times
10.
it by
So
10.
yeah, so it's
Different
like 40
brokers, like,
lots. Yeah, it's similar because it's just different amount of contracts. It's just how you word them, right? Options, binary options, contracts, CFD, spread bet. It's all the same shit. It's just how they contract the word for tax and whatever it is.
Your USD and GBP they pay the bill, so you know.
But coming back to this for banter's sake and for everyone watching, at the end of the day, I think he made a very, very good point. As long as you're making money, that's all that matters. Like profitable traders don't care. Like if you're winning, I'm winning. If you're making money, I'm making money. Like what is there to disagree about? Do you know what I mean? Like I could not like consolidating markets, but I don't give a flying fuck because you're making money on consolidating markets. And there's another great lesson there as well: is all markets are different for different traders. Like I hate consolidating, you love consolidating. I love trending, you hate trending. People like support resistance or market structure. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, is you all need to understand you versus you. You all got to figure yourself out. So then to kind of like wrap this section up, it's just like, what would you kind of think? 3 major tips that would change your trading if you just at that binary option stage or that challenge stage, right? Even when you're halfway through your challenge stage, if you just did these 3 motherfucking things earlier, would have made your trading 10 times better. What would those 3 things be?
Take less trades. For me personally, it would be take less trades.
Yep.
So limit the amount of trades I'm taking. So you know, if you're a scalper, let's just say on average you take 5 trades a day, reduce it down to 3 trades.
And what's the benefits of that?
Your psychology. Because if you're taking 3 trades and then you end up, well, you know what, let me take another 3 more and they lose. All of this has an effect on your psychology. You need to make sure your psychology is always on point with trading. So that's why I say first one is reduce the amount of trades you take. Reduce the amount of time you spend on the charts trading.
Love that. That's a new one.
So, you know, with me personally, I spend like physically on the charts trading, I'll say max an hour a day, whether it's on my phone or the computer. Back testing and stuff, obviously, if you want to do that, you could do that all day. But when I wasn't profitable and I used to back test compared to now, like now I don't back test as much, mainly due to the fact that I sort of realized it was my psychology that was having an effect on my trading, not really my technicals. Obviously, with backtesting, you just press next, and the next bar is the next 15-minute candle.
Yeah, and it doesn't emotionally drain you as much as actual trading, in my opinion. You're more strategy testing.
Moving. So obviously, it's good to do anyways. And third, I'll probably say journaling. To be honest, if you're not a profitable, I think journaling, you start realizing so many patterns.
Glad you said that, because let me say something right now, and everyone watching. Every single person who's been on the interview has said journaling.
Before you say this, let me tell you one thing. It's the nerdy stuff that's going to help you grow. That's the way I see it. It's the journaling, the all this nerdy stuff. For me personally, I think.
Don't call it nerdy. I'm not bang you.
But I personally, like, when I think personal, the nerdy stuff that's the stuff that helps you grow the most, man. Like, even having like a structured day or something. These are the stuff that ends up. You don't realize it plays a massive part on your cycle and on your trading.
Because you can't manage what you don't measure, and you can't measure what you don't manage. How do I know what I'm doing right? How do I know what I'm doing wrong if I don't fucking documentate it? Right? It's just simple as that. But every single person who's been profitable has been on here. In that that question I asked you, everyone has had journaling in that answer. So, and it's crazy because like even other traders I meet, hedge fund managers, all sorts of people all say journaling. Everyone else will have different things. Like you got like over trading. Some people will say work on the technical. Some people work foundation, fundamental. It doesn't matter. But the one thing everyone has in common, journaling. Journaling is
it's like having a physical business and not taking a look at your cash flow or
income, expenses, what's working, what's not working. Yeah,
exactly. It's
mad.
And I always sort of use this just to finish up. I always use this sort of scenario where people don't realize when you open a physical business, you might put 30, 40, 50,000 pounds to, you know, open the shop or whatever. The day you open it, you're already down 50,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's
why
true.
Why is it with trading where when you put 50,000 or when you put $1,000 in your account and you're not even at a loss from the beginning, you know, the psychology changes.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's like you're actually at an advantage in terms of business.
Yeah. I really, 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 really like that analogy. And another analogy to add on to that as well is like people go to university for 4 or 5 years, pay 100K for it, come out for a 25K degree, and then people will come into trading, pay a couple of hundred. And there's even courses like a couple of hundred, right? And loads of you could buy 10 courses and it would never be the amount of a university degree. But in trading, you can make more than any degree that can give you to some degree because there's an abundance. You know what I mean?
That's not easy. That's the main
Yeah.
thing. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
But
That is true.
as
It's
cliche,
very, very true.
as cliche as it sounds, if you don't give up, if you don't, what's the saying?
Come on.
If you
I'll
do,
let you spit it out. I will
if you
say,
don't,
I'll go first. So what I say is the only traders that fail are the ones that give up. So the easy answer
yeah,
is just never give up.
basically that. That's what I meant.
He just taking it. That's what he wanted to say. I've got your back. There's another. You
So
want to say a different one?
you only fail when you give up. That's there you
Yeah,
go.
that's true.
It's
That's the
cliche one.
true failure is only when you give up because failure is a part of
100%.
success, not the opposite. Because when you fail, you realize one way that hasn't worked. You just keep failing, failing, failing. Because you only need to succeed once. Once. That's it.
Yeah.
You got it forever. Yeah. Where can people find you? On Twitter or Instagram or whatever you want to plug. Do you teach as well?
So I do teach, but I don't teach like that. Like you follow,
Like that.
you follow me. I don't really promote anything. It's just there. If you want to do it, you can do it. If not, and
Holler
I
at me,
actually
innit?
make
Holler
money.
at your boy.
I actually make money trading. So it's like I started getting a lot of money for money. I started getting a lot of people messaging me asking me what they want to learn. So um, best place is probably Twitter.
Yep.
98 underscore Rahat. My Instagram is more like personal stuff, you know. So probably if you're looking for trading stuff, it's probably Twitter. But I do
Yeah.
post trading stuff on Instagram as well.
Would you want people to follow you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'll say
Cool.
Twitter.
I'll put the link in the Twitter.
People watching this is gonna be trading, right? So
Yeah.
unless you want to see what I get and what I do on a day-to-day life.
Pretty boring. I'm just saying, nah, joking.
Yeah.
He's living his
It
life.
is though. Everyone knows
Yeah,
profitable trading is very boring. But
it's true.
it's very boring. Like I always say this as well. Once you start seeing that your trading is boring, you're on the right track. That's
Yeah.
one of the biggest indicators because it's actually very boring. Just common, the same thing every day, different outcomes. That's all there
Yeah.
is, to be honest.
One actual final thing before I forget to go is how have you found My Funded FX and would you recommend it?
I would not recommend my fund effects because of that.
This
No,
guy,
I'm
man, you
joking.
can't say that. People are gonna watch.
No, I'm joking. Now, like on the real, my fund effects, I'll say for me personally, it's like top 3 pop firms.
Mhm.
Never had any issues with them.
Yep.
Payouts always been on time. You know, the fact that you can request a withdrawal and start trading straight away.
Yeah, that's mad.
I've used other companies where you request a withdrawal and you got to wait like 2 days, and in that 2 days you might have a setup which you wanted to take. That's like an
It's
80
me
bucks.
right now.
Yeah. So like that's another big thing. Support. So like if I did ever have any problems, support has always sorted out. So yeah, it's definitely that top 3 from top 3.
Yeah. I think one of the best things I realized as well over the past couple of days, now that I've been running up like challenges with other companies and stuff, and there's no dig, it's the truth of the matter because facts are facts. Like you can't just beat facts. Is the withdrawals are fucking quick. Literally 24 hours, I
Yeah.
got mine straight away. And then, like you said, you can trade straight away. And then it's even though it's on Think Markets, there are other companies that use Think Markets. And if you see my Twitter, I won't name it. It slipped me $1,000, and it's exactly the same broker. And that $1,000 would have actually taken me past phase 2. So obviously they're looking into it, but still, like that is just beyond shocking. It's crazy because I've traded live markets and I've never been slipped that much on live conditions in funded conditions. And technically, it's a demo account, quote unquote, and they still slipped $1,000. So imagine on a live, that's insane. So My Funded FX is definitely the place to go. So link in the description and W Champ FX for 15% off, or right now they have like that Black Friday deal, which is buy one get one free, which is pretty fucking crazy. So go and check that out.
Use his code instead. He needs to get paid. It doesn't make money to trade it. So.
Either or. That link in the description supports me in it. So holler at your boy.
No, but
Right, so
recommend them.
let's do part 2. If you guys haven't already, make sure you stay tuned for part 2, where Rahat is actually going to break down all the charts and how he makes his bag.
Right, what an interesting interview that was. So thanks for Rahat for doing that first stage of interview. Don't forget, we've got part 2 where he breaks down on some of the trades he has. So he's got some dynamic positioning. He talks about how he enters, how he looks at the market, the whole structure. So it's a really good valued interview. So don't forget to check out on part 2. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and good luck with the giveaways as well. And we'll see you in the next video. Champ out. Peace.